Yo, what's good, everybody? I'm Rich,
I'm D.
and welcome to episode one of the Straight Up and R&D podcast.
Where we just express ourselves, don't really give a bleep about your feelings.
We're gonna be delivering it to you raw, real, and unfiltered, of opinions based on facts.
Yeah, and then, hopefully you guys are able to stick around for the journey. So please, before we begin, just please remember to like, comment, and subscribe.
Yes, like, comment, subscribe, and make sure you leave your feedback in the comment section. We want to hear what you got to say.
All criticism is welcome.
But just know, there's only one rule on this podcast, though.
Let's run the rule.
Because we're not. This is not gonna be like all the other podcasts out there where people get butthurt over the comments. But just to make it clear, we do not give a fuck about your feelings. All right, we don't care. I mean,
Listen, everybody that supports us, we love y'all. But at the same time, we're bringing ourselves to the table each and every episode. Now, if you disagree with us, hey, you just disagree with us. But the goal of this show is for us, Rich and I, future guests, even some of our supporters, speak your goddamn mind. Who cares what anybody else think?
there's no penalty for saying how you feel, and
There shouldn't be.
it shouldn't be. But what's weird is like in this day and age, you say something, it's like you're trying to be politically correct and agree with what everyone else is saying. Like a lot of times I see people don't think for themselves.
But what's the fun of that? But again, today's society, that's how they're trying to mold everyone because of this cancel culture. We're not allowed to be ourselves. And something I struggle with is to not know how not to be myself.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? So as long as you're not saying anything like offensive or, you're not aiming to like maliciously hurt someone or threaten somebody, you should be able to speak your mind freely without getting without getting any consequence.
Right. And obviously hate speech and all that is not going to be tolerated on the pod at all, right? But we want everyone to feel comfortable in saying how they feel, their opinion.
Correct.
Their opinion. Give us your opinion, right? Because your opinion can neither be right or wrong. It's what you think with the knowledge that you have. Maybe you aren't well informed, but you tell us what you think about a particular subject.
Yeah.
There's nothing wrong with that.
And look, I'm a man. I'll admit if I'm wrong. Or if Rich brings up a good point, or if a guest brings up a good point, and it changed my way of thinking, I will happily admit, like, all right, you know what? The way I was thinking was wrong previously. The points that he or she brought up, it changed my way of thinking. I feel that's how everybody should be. I'm looking to disagree with people because I like to have a great discourse, proper discourse with someone, and I'm hoping you change my way of thinking, or maybe I hopefully to change your way of thinking. I think that we should all have that bendable mindset.
I agree with that. And, another thing I want to get out of this podcast, too, is that, whether you disagree with what we say or you agree, and let's use an instance where you disagree. Because I feel like a lot of people are going to disagree.
Yeah, facts.
To be honest. So if you disagree, you can cry about it, whine about it, be mad about it, right? But tune into the next episode. Okay? Just tune into the next episode. And if you have, if you want to say something, sound off in the comments and we'll bring it up during the show.
Right. We'll get some shout outs.
We'll give you some shout outs. We'll say your question, your comment, and we'll talk about it.
And once we're better, well equipped, we will try to get some of you guys on the show with us. Call ins or once we get our feet wet.
Yeah, this is episode 1, so it might be a little rough. It might be a little rough, and that's okay. We're growing. You're gonna see us grow, right? And we just starting from the bottom. You know what I'm saying?
Starting
Starting
from
from
the
the
bottom.
bottom, and then we're gonna take this to the top. We want to be the best, the number one podcast on the internet. Period.
And one thing I'm definitely going to say that going to separate us from the rest of the podcast. Granted, I don't know every podcast out there. We are going to bring our true, authentic selves. Whatever comes out of my mouth is just that's D. Whatever coming out of Rich mouth, that's Rich. This is us. We're not, you know, we're not men who just stray away from our way of thinking. We're not gonna let society tells us how we should think. We're not gonna let these other social, let the social norms affect us or our culture affect our way of thinking. We're gonna criticize everyone. We're gonna say it how we feel.
Yeah, criticism, praise, everything, and there's nothing that's off limits for this podcast. We're anything that pops up or anything that's going on in the world, and literally anything we're gonna talk about.
Right.
All right, so this is a podcast for everybody. We want you guys to feel comfortable and go on this journey with us in this podcast world because we on the way to we on the road to number one.
Correct.
We're on the road to number one, and this is episode 1. So with that being said, let's get right into it.
Yeah.
Let's get right into it.
So what's on your mind, bro?
Lately, I was sitting back and I was thinking about like a lot of the stuff that's happening around the world and a lot of the craziness. And as a black man, I feel that we can do collectively as a race better because I'm sure you're aware of how T.I.'s kids is behaving and
his son King,
his son, and not only that, how some of these women are behaving these days, right? And I'm only talking for black people right now. So, listeners, if you can relate. But that's what we're gonna get into a little bit of that. But the main question is, do you think black people on a whole can do better in this society?
You're really targeting black Americans.
Yes, I'm targeting
black Americans.
Black Americans specifically.
Of course, black America can do a lot better, and we're just so far behind. And it's honestly embarrassing to see where we are at today. I feel like anybody that wants to stand next to us, they don't even do it to be 100% besides the black person, besides, our culture. They just do it for like, I don't know, the game fame or some type of, or something, and then just exit our culture. For one thing I want to say before I even get deep into that, we're too accepting. Now, right. I come from Brooklyn. I grew up near Crown Heights. And anybody that's from Brooklyn know Crown Heights is heavily Jewish populated. And whenever I walk through there, bro, they got their own fucking schools, they own hospital.
That's
like, bro, you can't even get sick with these niggas, bro. You can't even get sick with them. Own hospitals, own grocery stores, and just own everything. But like, if I were to go up in those stores, they would still treat me with respect. But they just letting us know, like, hey, we are for our people. We building and establishing things in our own community. Not saying we won't welcome you, but we honestly don't want your business either. And that's not to offend anyone.
It's not offensive.
We just choosing to help each other out. And what's another thing too? What I admire about the Jewish community in Brooklyn specifically. Say if it's one person become a millionaire or a billionaire, you will have 100 people dancing because they all know they all made it. They spreading the wealth.
That's absolutely true.
They're spreading the wealth. That. Black people now, conversely, we got the Chinaman in our hood. And nothing against them. I'm not trying to be racist, but it's just that we're too accepting of other cultures building in our communities, and then what's left for us? What do we have?
what's the statistics? They say the black dollar only lasts is what, like an hour or something like that within the
That's too much
community.
time.
Like with like, you know, other communities, the money is passed around. I think a couple of like either 20 hours or 2 days or something like that. Like that dollar is circulated into their community longer than the black community.
Correct.
Right. So, you know, even for me, sometimes I look at it, I'm like, man, they got a nice system.
Yeah, nice system.
They have like, I believe it's more like a community policing.
Yeah, they do.
They have schools for them and the school buses, and that's all. That is great. I'm not complaining. It's something that, you know, I think as black people we should strive to have something like that set up for ourselves.
Something like that set up for ourselves. And even when I even go into like the Asian communities here, you would see that in their shops they just hire their people.
Yeah,
it's just them because again, it's not to offend anybody. It's just like I want to help my own get off their feet first,
right?
Before we try to help anybody else. We want to make sure everything in our house is put together before we try to go outside of our house.
Exactly.
And I feel like we just have no structure in Black America, which is why, you know, we're in the position we at now. Like, and I don't know, I just feel like the government too.
Yeah, the government plays a big role as well. But like, you know, I feel sometimes I just feel like sometimes I'm like, am I the only one that sees this? Like, this is something I would like to have, right? But how do we get this? You get all of this stuff, and I think the problem is we envy others within our own community because, like you said, if you know one of them gets become a millionaire, you know the money's gonna spin around in that community, right? But in the black community,
up out of here.
I'm moving out the hood.
I'm moving out the hood.
Like, I'm gone.
Ain't nothing wrong with that, for real.
Look, there's nothing wrong with it. But it's like, okay, before you leave, you could like leave us with a nice little business. A nice little shop. You know what I mean?
Oh, like help people in the community,
bro. Help people in the community. Try to establish something before you leave, and, you know, maybe hire somebody that live in the area to run the business while you're, you know, living your multi-million-dollar life.
Yeah,
right. Nobody's saying you got to stay, but at least leave something for us.
Just give other people opportunities.
And you know what's interesting? You bring up the other, like the Asian community, and then we can even talk about the Hispanic community, right?
Right.
So. In the Jewish community, they have a second language. In the Hispanic community, they have a second language.
You're right.
In the Chinese community, they have a second language. In the Japanese community, they have a second language. But in the black community, we only know English. We don't teach our children any other language. I mean, yes, we have Haitians, right? And they speak French.
Talking about Black America.
But we're talking about Black America right
now,
right? And then you have Asian Americans. I'm not saying every Asian and every Jewish person, every Latino knows Spanish, but
talk about the majority.
But we know that in their household, somebody in their family speaks another language, but we only speak English.
I think that brings up another topic of just like education throughout the Black community. And how other cultures take education probably more serious than we do. Because I was listening to Candace Owens actually this morning, and she was just saying like how a lot of Black boys could barely read in their teenage years. How a lot of, you know, our public schools are just failing us in you know, in our Black communities. And you have to blame some of that. Put some of that blame on the shoulders of parents, because I would think, like, as a father, I'm going to make sure my child knows how to read by a certain age, or I would learn some of their struggles of learning and make sure, you know, I'm on top of it. But it should be no reason why. I don't have the statistics up with me right now, but like how some Black boys and Black girls in their teenage years can't even flip and read yet.
Yeah, or their reading levels is third grade level or if they're in high school, they got a third grade reading level or a fourth grade
I
reading
know
level.
some right now. I ain't
And
gonna say nothing yet, but like I know some black children right now, real big, bro, and struggling. And I'm just like, how are you comfortable like this? You know what I mean? And we talking about Black America. I come from a Caribbean background.
likewise.
You already know. Books for Christmas.
You gotta know your mats,
Yeah.
like, and that's the thing. And again, within the black community, there's different backgrounds. You got your Caribbeans, your Black Americans, your Africans, right? We all won. At the end, we all won, right? But you know, collectively, can we do better? Yes,
Mm-hmm.
right. And growing up in my household, school is important.
Very important.
You gotta know how to read. You gotta know how your math. You gotta do your homework. You gotta be on top of your schoolwork because we live in America right now, and you can't just get by the bare minimum, and then get into the real world, and then
Expecting to do the bare minimum.
expecting to do the bare minimum, but expecting high return.
Yeah. Yeah.
And I think this is where that victim mentality comes in.
Yeah, man. And whenever I talk about this amongst my other so-called brothers and sisters, I was always the one labeled as I don't know, a coon or Uncle Tom, because I feel like whenever you're critical of the black community, they just want to X you out and say that you're not one, when in actuality, I'm saying the things I'm saying because I want to uplift us.
Right.
We have this victim mentality. It's like, all right, granted, does racism still exist? Yes, of course. I feel like as long as evil still exists in this world, racism is always going to exist in this world.
That's never going away. That's like
It's never
asking
going
for
away.
world peace. It's not
Is,
happening.
is it harder for black people a little bit in corporate America or to move up in higher positions? Yes, I would say yes to that also. But because some of those things are in place or roadblocks are in place, do we just stop striving for greatness? Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? Like, you still have to keep trying. And I feel like when a lot of people, they would try and fail, they want to play the race card. And it's like, bro, everybody fails. Like, just keep going.
Yeah, I feel like people are scared of failure, and if they don't get their way, they say, "Oh, it's because I'm black. Oh, it's because of this. Oh, it's because of that." Now, I'm not saying that there is no racial inequality when hiring people. It happens.
It happens.
It does. And it happened to me before. Mm-hmm. It happens, right? But me pulling the race card is the last card in the deck that I will use. Right. I will say, oh, maybe I was not qualified enough. Oh, I didn't know something that they expected me to know that I didn't know. Maybe another candidate knew.
Maybe I was just ass. Maybe I didn't do the job
well. Maybe I was trash. There's many interviews I went on that I didn't get. Right?
For real.
Some people say, oh, yeah, we're going to reach back out to you, and they never did. Right? So it's like I can't just go and throw the race card because I didn't get what I want. I use that to fuel myself to be better. I say, okay, I went in the interview, and I didn't know this, and da-da-da-da. Now, when I go on the next one, I got to make sure I know X, Y, and Z, research it a little bit deeper, look into more on the position that I'm applying for, so that when I get these type of questions, I know how to handle it. I know how to say, oh, yeah, work around it like that. I don't run and throw the victim card. And I feel like the black community does that too much.
And I blame, who the fuck can I blame, to be honest? I blame a lot. I blame the media also. Also, I think this also steers in having accountability, not being accountable.
That's the big thing.
For some of the things that we cause ourselves to not gain other opportunities. Like, but yeah, man, I want to just start with us first. We just have to stop putting this victim card down.
And we got to vote different.
Whew, I was trying not to lean into that yet, but like, we gotta vote different.
No, like, cause look, it all intertwines together, because
Yeah.
if you're gonna say like, victim mentality, right? You got the Democrats that's gonna use it against you, promote that, so you can
Yes.
vote for them. And then
I
when you
was
vote
gonna
for
say
them,
that, bro.
and they come into
Yeah.
office, they don't do anything, right?
I blame when I said I blame the media, I blame the fucking Democrats, bro. And it be white people that tells us this. It's like, how the fuck do you know? Like,
Yeah, how do you know this shit? You never came in my hood. Like, you don't know what it's like to be in my skin.
Exactly. Like, you're telling us the reason we're not gaining employment or getting other opportunities because of the color of our skin. Like, I feel like, in these democratic states, they just want to tell us what we want to hear.
Right.
Like, oh, I'm going to help Black America. Ain't do a goddamn thing yet. Oh, we're going to do this, we're going that. Oh, don't vote for them because they're racist. It's like,
Damn,
come on, man. It's just starting to circle over and over
again. It's gonna be like an endless cycle.
Yeah, cycle.
And we have to do better with who we vote for and what we stand for. And we have to hold these politicians accountable when they do not deliver, right? So let's, for instance, and just throwing an example, that if Joe Biden, if Joe Biden is not doing what Black people want,
he's not.
We gotta say, okay, we're not gonna be loyal. We're not voting for this party again. Like we're not voting for this candidate, of the Democratic Party, because obviously the way they're aligning themselves has no benefit to our community.
No benefit.
So I'm not trying to sway, vote Republican, vote this, vote that. It's know your worth with your vote, because there's power behind not voting.
It matters.
You have a choice.
It matters.
And one thing that really bothered me a lot is somebody would say, they asked me, Rich, are you voting? And this was the past Trump and Biden election, and even the one before that with Hillary, when Hillary and them was going.
That was funny.
And they were like, are you gonna vote? You should vote for the lesser of the two evils, this, that, and the third. And I said, nah, I'm not voting, because none of the candidates are giving me anything that I want. Why am I going to show, a support for a group that's not doing anything for me?
Not doing anything for me.
Because what they do later on, right, is they look historically on the statistics. They say, yeah, we had a high turnout of the Black vote. So to them, they're saying, even though they picked the lesser of the two evils, most Black people picked this candidate A, right? And this is what he said at the time.
And I feel like, the Democratic Party has Black people in some type of chokehold. And I don't know what the fuck it is, to be honest with you, bro. Like, it's like a lot of Black Americans say, I have to vote blue just because my past says, or people just like, hey, vote for blue. They promise to help us. But what have they done? I remember on election night, Joe Biden said he slammed his fucking fist on the table like, Black people, I got your back. What has he done? It's about to be re-election. What has he done for the Black community?
I mean, you can say the same thing about Obama.
What has he done? I remember Obama, made the LGBT community, he gave them rights.
The gay marriage that came in. Good for everybody.
Good for them. Not hating. But it's like, damn, we got a brother quote unquote brother in office.
As we thought.
You know what I mean? And I remember at the time thinking, finally, like, Black people were making strides.
Right.
He hasn't done anything.
No.
He done nothing. And I'm just starting to lose a little bit of hope on, like, what's going to be done for Black people in America.
And sometimes I think a little bit too deep in it, and it's maybe because, we don't really have much established. Mm-hmm. So it's like we don't really have that economic power to influence a candidate to hold up to their promises for our vote. So it's like, think about it, and I'm just saying this off the cuff. The Asian community, they run a lot of businesses, they have a lot of money, you know, they're more tech savvy, this, that, and the third, right? They come here, they have their shops, whatever, you know, they have businesses in China that's doing trade here, and they work here, and they make their money here, right? So, don't you think that if I'm running for president and I know this guy here,
if I get them on my side,
if I get him on my side and, give him what he needs for his business and, start thinking about his community, maybe his community will vote for me, right? Because
they have a lot of power in their culture.
They have a lot of economic power. And the problem is, black people, we don't have that. What do we have?
Why do you think we don't have, as much as those communities and that you just stated?
Because we squander our money on foolishness. We spend the most money on clothes and weave and hair and this, that, and the third. And I didn't even know that the hair industry, the beauty industry,
Hennessy,
the liquor. Let's not even forget. I mean, but I like my Jack Daniels though.
I meant to say cheers to the first episode.
Cheers to the first episode for sure. We spend our money on all of this bullshit instead of reinvesting it into ourselves, right? And I would say we should buy our, if it's liquor that you like to buy, make sure it's from a black business,
right?
Because they get a cut, right?
Yeah, man. Like, yeah.
You buying your weave, ladies. You buying your makeup, your hair stuff. Go to Shaniqua down the block. You know what I'm saying? Like, help her out.
But see, that's the thing too, and I think that's why other cultures look at us as ridiculous. Like, when we look at these rappers, entertainers, now, granted, they don't represent black people as a whole or black Americans as a whole, but whether we like it or not, they are kind of the face for other cultures for black people. Because, like, if I'm this, I don't know, Billy Bob from Africa, and I'm just looking at pop culture in America, and I see black faces, and I see Sexy Red, fucking Cardi B, Offset, all these other people with $1 million chains and shit, Gucci hat, Gucci socks. Who the hell need Gucci socks?
That's true.
Like come on, bro. Like, you need Gucci hat, Gucci socks and shit. If I'm seeing that representing black America, you're just going to think that's how every black person is. And you know what even annoys me even more? Like, I don't know about y'all, I grew up in the hood. People in the hood, bro, living in the projects, coming out with Louis Vuitton bags, Prada's, Balenciaga. It's like, what the hell? Like, bro, you even got your house in order. No shade to anybody living in the project. I'm just saying, like, you're catching the bus, you living in the hood, we all in the hood. We living in this impoverished community. But you're trying to mimic what you see on TV because you want to be up there that much. Instead of spending $1,000 on a pair of socks, why don't you just use that to get your house in order, reinvest in the community or something, bro?
Better yet, erase your debt, because I know that credit card bill is high.
Credit card bill
I know that credit
high.
card bill is high, but we gotta do better. With the black dollar, right? Because we work hard, we earn what we get. And, we got to strive harder, but we got to know where to put the money. Put the money back into the community. Put the money, to more important stuff, and stop trying to live this glamorous lifestyle that you see on social media or these rappers and this, that, and the third. Because in the end, if I see you wearing Gucci, I'm like, okay. Like,
exactly. Nobody gives a fuck.
You're going to be, if you wear some Gucci shoes or some Louis Vuittons, you're going to be more concerned on somebody not stepping on your foot than anything, bro.
But, bro, I would say this reverts back to education. Like, I don't know what it is. I feel like, as black people in our community, we haven't been educated on just finances alone. You know what I mean? Right. Like, it's a lot of shit we don't know. So, like, when we get a little come up, we think it's all right to blow the whole bag on, Gucci this, and Louis that.
But don't get me wrong. It's okay to buy things that
To
you like.
splurge
It's
if you
okay
have that
every once in a
disposable
while.
income.
Yeah, every once in a while because tomorrow's not promised.
Tomorrow's not promised. I'm not saying not to splurge on yourself, but again, when you get your first bag, when you get your first, bit of money, don't just automatically try to go out of your bracket. Buy within your means or live below your means and creep your way up there and then you could ball.
Right. You gotta
But
put your head down and work.
but yeah, but like, I was even just thinking about myself and the school I grew up in. I don't know if this is a thing at private schools, but there was no course on money management, how to
No,
invest, how to do your taxes. There was none of that shit.
look.
So like people coming from my communities, we not gonna know what to do. So it is some ignorance involved, but I'm glad I never fell into that trap. Cause me, I really don't care about fashion. Like, I'm still wearing Crocs. You know what I mean? Like I just
Crocs is nice though.
You know what I'm saying? Like I bought some $40 shoes from Amazon that my wife keep calling me cheesy. I don't give a damn. But that's just me though.
Mm-hmm.
But that's me. So that's why I haven't fell into that trap. But I don't know, man. Like I guess we just have to read more. We just gotta.
Yeah, we gotta read more. And I grew up here in Brooklyn too. Shout out to Little Caribbean. I don't like calling it Little Caribbean. It's Flatbush, all right? It's Flatbush, but that's the name that they give it now. But
Yeah, facts.
That I grew up in, back in the 90s, going on, shit was hard. It was like tough. And
It's
I'm
tough,
thankful
yo.
for both of my parents. I'm thankful for them. Again, I come from a Caribbean background, and I'm not gonna say everything was easy, but seeing certain events in my family, it's like, you can't fuck around.
Yeah,
Like,
bro.
I think about, your parents come to this country and they, you're born, you're here, and it's like for you to go and just squander that opportunity away with foolishness. It's like it just defeats the whole purpose. Right, because they're coming from a much poorer country into the great United States of America for a better opportunity. You have kids. You want your kids to do good.
Want your kids to do good. And you know what broke my heart too, yo? I was talking, I believe they were Jamaicans. I don't know them personally. It was just, a conversation I had. Mm-hmm. They're like, don't call me black. And I'm like,
oh my gosh.
What the fuck you mean don't call you black? They're like, we don't want to be associated with y'all because y'all don't know how to do this. Y'all are lazy, blah, blah, blah. And I could have took offense to that, which I kind of did. It's just like, because at the end of the day, if a white person sees you down the block, they're going to like, oh, you're black. But I kind of also get where he was coming from. Yeah, I got you. I get where he was coming from because they're coming from their country, like you said, wanting a better life. And they know in order to achieve that better life, you have to work hard and not solely rely on, government-funded programs. Mm-hmm. So that when they come here and they see, like, how Black America is doing, they're just disgusted and don't want to be associated with them because they feel like they're better than them. And maybe in some cases they are. Mm-hmm. I can't, you know what I mean? Like, my parents, when they came to this country, bro, they had nowhere to sleep. But I'm hearing stories from my mother and my father, how they didn't have nowhere to go, nowhere to sleep. Started off working at retail stores and, eventually just working their way up to now they got their own place. While some of the people they met when they came to this country who from here, still on the same bullshit they was
still on the same bullshit. And it's like, you come to this country for a better opportunity and you didn't come here to live off the government.
Exactly.
You came here for an opportunity. You came here for work. You came here for money. Mm-hmm. Right? And again, no shade at all to people who are, on government assistance. No shade at all.
We all been there. Use it as a stepping stool.
Use it as a stepping stool to get on your feet.
Right.
All right? Because, again, this all wraps back into the Black community that we can do better. Right? We can establish, better neighborhoods, having more businesses, circulating our money longer within the community. right? We can do it. But if we're going to sit around and depend on the government, some people over here saying, oh, I don't want to make X amount of money or I don't want to work because I'm going to lose that check and I'm going to lose this. And it's like, what? How are you going to say you don't want to work?
How you don't want to elevate because you're going to lose food stamps
how
or
you
lose...
don't want to, how you don't want to better yourself to get more? Like, you know what I mean? And it's like that mentality here needs to stop. And it's crazy. Again, we keep voting the same way collectively, right?
Yeah.
I'm gonna say this on the record. I did not vote for anybody. I didn't vote for Obama. I didn't vote for Biden. I didn't vote for Trump because none of them has said anything that was remotely reminiscent to what I wanted.
Mm-hmm.
Because they're in the pockets of other donors, right? And if black people don't have nothing established, how can we hold these politicians accountable? I hear on all these radio shows, on the internet, on this, oh, black people, oh, we can't do this, and this guy didn't do nothing for us, and this guy. I was like, well, yeah, because you don't mean shit to them. They just want your vote, they get your vote, and they forget about you.
You know, bro, I feel like before we start seeking help from others, we got to get shit in our own house fixed, man. We are so torn apart as a black community. We're fighting amongst each other, and I just feel like we're the laughing stock. We're fighting amongst each other, robbing each other, killing each other, dissing each other. Don't want to date each other.
Oh yeah.
We don't even want to make love with each other. Mm-hmm. But we're expecting outside help.
The problem starts within.
It starts within.
Starts in the household.
If there was some sort of stability, then we probably would be taken a bit more serious, and then we could get help. Again, we talked about this before, and we had an opportunity in 2020. 2020, Black Lives Matter movement.
BLM.
We had every fucking culture standing beside us.
Yes, thanks everybody for the support.
Everybody was standing beside us, wanted to help black people, wanted to uplift us, making so many donations to BLM movement.
That was a real movement, man.
And what the fuck we did?
What happened? What happened? Tell us.
The people who ran that movement bought fucking mansions, cars, jewelry,
personal chefs,
popping bottles at the club,
turning up,
strippers, giving that shit to strippers, you know what I'm saying?
They went to that Beyonce concert.
They did every fucking thing else.
Man.
Than besides helping the black community.
What an absolute fail. Like if I were to put myself in like another like race or something, and I saw that, they had this movement going, it was gaining worldwide attention, and then after the pandemic, it just fell flat.
Boom.
Like, you got all the money, all the support, all the awareness, especially during a perfect time, during COVID, where nobody's working, things is, a virus is going around and killing people, and RIP to all the COVID victims.
Yeah, RIP.
I'm sorry. I know personally people who've died from COVID. Yeah. But this was an opportunity for the black community to really set the record straight, right, and get all the help that they needed.
Mm-hmm. Squandered it.
And squandered it. Help the black kids, the black girls and the black boys, get better opportunities in school and programs and, stuff like that. And the money was just wasted. And I'm not going to say that everybody, who believed in it was wrong, but the main organizers that was handling the situation really fumbled the bag.
And think about this, y'all. When do you think we're going to get another opportunity like that?
It's never going to happen again.
It's never. Because they said, no, we tried to help y'all before, and you decided to fumble it, so now we're just going to leave y'all in the dust again.
Yo, look at all the destruction of the stores. I mean, granted, I'm not saying Black Lives Matter is the one that destroyed the stores. I'm not saying that, but there were people that destroyed businesses during protests for Black Lives Matter,
Correct.
right? And that makes the whole thing look bad, And again, we can't control everybody's, actions, but at the same time, you got to come out and say these things like, we are not here to be violent. We're here to prove a point. All of the victims of police brutality, RIP to them. Everybody, the Mike Browns, the Trayvons, the George Floyds, everybody, all of those injustices were wrong.
Very wrong.
Right? But at the same time, collectively, we as a Black people, we gotta know, we don't condone this type of nonsense. And yes, there were Black people robbing the stores.
Mm-hmm.
There were white people robbing the stores. There were Asians and everybody doing it. But I feel like if you were Black and you were robbing the store and you were a part of the chaos and nonsense,
you're part of the problem.
You are a part of the problem, and that's why we cannot get anywhere. You only think for yourself. You can rob the Gucci store, rob for some damn watches, and then try to resell them shits, or you
Stolen.
You're gonna go steal freaking in phones and stuff, and it's like, come on, bro. This is a movement. Back in the day, when they said, "Yo, we going out to march," they went out to march. They went out to protest. They didn't go burning down the city, burning up cars, doing all this extra stuff. Destroying their own businesses in their own neighborhood. What sense does that make? Because now when the protest is over and your ass need to go to the store, shit.
It's not there, and
it's
whoever owned that business not rebuilding it back. You saw the thing with Target in Harlem, how they shut that shit down? I think it was Harlem. It was a Target. I believe it was Harlem. One of y'all in the comments fact check me. It was continuously getting robbed, destroyed. They're like, we done with this shit, man. We're not going to keep it open. And then y'all want to complain like, oh, y'all don't want to help the Black... We tried. We had one of the biggest retail stores in America in our community. Instead of living honestly, you break in the stores. Or not even break in the store, just continuously rob them.
That brings up a point. There's a Rite Aid by me that closed down. Mind you, this is a big pharmacy, right? Yo, they closed down, and I would go to I go to the Rite Aid. It's within my community. I don't know exactly who owns it. I don't know if they're like franchises or how it works. But I go there, get my prescriptions and whatever. And I like to eat ice cream. Okay? So I go in there, and one day I go in there, and the freaking ice cream doors is locked with a chain and a lock.
Fucking ice cream.
Freaking ice cream, right? So I'm like, this is weird, So my sister likes to eat ice cream too. So I told her, I was like, yo.
And shout out to ice cream.
Yeah, like, shout out to ice cream. Like, I'm like, yo, they have a lock on this? And it's crazy. So I go to the guy at the front, and I'm like, yo, like, why is the ice cream chained up? Like, this is the most odd thing.
To be chained up, yeah.
Fucking ice cream. He goes, yeah, no, a lot of people come in here and steal the ice cream and run out.
Like, damn,
I'm like, hold on. I'm like, the way he's set up, there's beer, alcohol in the same aisle of the ice cream. I was like, you telling me people come in here and steal the ice cream? Like, not even the liquor. We come in and stealing ice cream. He's like, yeah, the kids, because there's a bus stop right in front of the Rite Aid.
The kids, all right.
The kids come in there and they steal the candy and they steal the ice cream. Kept stealing, and they trashed the place.
Now blame the parents.
Blame the parents. And I'm like, are you serious? So now they're closed down. I don't know if it's because they were losing money or what have you, but
shit, that ice cream had a high profit margin or some shit
like that. Like, and it's kind of, it's kind of like doing the most where I have to go to the clerk to ask him, hey, can you open the doors for the ice cream so I can pick what I want? So I get the ice cream and he's like there looking at me, like I don't get no privacy picking my ice cream. It's like, yeah, I'm just going to wait for you to be done. But bro, nah, it's definitely the parents on that one.
Yo, since we talking about, so I got another story I want to bring up. In my neighborhood, I went to the store. I think I was getting a bacon, egg, and cheese. Yeah, I was getting a bacon, egg, and cheese before I went to work. Waiting in line, and this black guy comes in. And the store is owned, fuck, man, I want to say, the Ock?
Yeah.
Like, yo, Ock, yeah.
Hey, yo, Ock.
Yeah, you know what I mean?
Bacon, egg, and cheese, right?
Exactly. He come in, I don't know if he was drunk or something, but he just come in on 10. And then they just talk, and then out of nowhere the conversation shifted to, oh, there's no hope for us in the black community. Mm-hmm. Y'all come in here and start y'all businesses while we can't. So the guy was just like, what you mean you can't start a business? Mm-hmm. He said, because y'all the ones starting y'all business, we didn't have a chance to get in this building. You know, it's saying real nonsense. Saying like we didn't have a chance to start this business in this building because y'all keep coming and starting it. Mm-hmm. And he was like, well, my man, this is a store owner now, Ock. Uh-huh. Ock is saying, a couple blocks down, there's a corner store ran by black people.
Right.
So what are you talking about? There's no opportunity for you to run a corner store. Uh-huh. And the guy was like, what corner store is that? I never been there.
So you didn't even know.
Yeah, and then they were getting kind of loud now. And I'm just like, holy shit. Uh-huh. And because I can understand the guys getting offended, like, yo, I work hard for this. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So he's telling him, like, go down the block and you're going to see a black man running a corner store. Uh-huh. The guy had nothing else to say. So I'm like, look at you falling into this victim mentality and making excuses for yourself because you didn't take action on something you wanted to do. Now you just want to.
Here we go again.
You want to blame the man. You want to blame the color of your skin. Bro, if you want to do something, do it. All right, cool. If you want to run this corner store, but you can't, go find another goddamn corner store to go run. Right. It was just real interesting early in the morning.
You know, it's crazy. I was here the other day, right? And when I was going home, I stopped, of all places. I don't really eat that. I went to Kennedy Fried Chicken, right? Because it was on. Yo, it was open. It's like, I didn't leave here till like 2 a.m. or some shit like that. And I was like, I was type hungry.
That was the only shit that was open at that time.
So I went in there and I go in there. I tell the guy, yo, let me get that chicken over rice, bruh. Get that chicken over rice. White sauce and the black and the red sauce. You're. So he goes, he makes it. And this guy comes in. Looking mad suspicious. I ain't gonna hold it. He was looking hella suspicious. So I'm from New York. I'm on 10. My alert level is on 10. It's 2:00 in the morning. Mm-hmm. I'm in Kennedy Fried Chicken spot. You know what happens.
Yeah.
Right? You got to be on guard. So I'm in there. Dude asked me for $1. I'm like, nah. I really didn't have no cash on.
Talking about the one that's near here?
Yeah.
That's a new one. All right.
So I go in there, and he's like, yo, you have $1? I was like, nah, I don't got $1, but I really didn't have no cash. Right? I don't even carry cash, for the record. So if you trying to rob me, good luck. I don't got shit. I'm broke. I'm broke, for the record, all right? I'm broke. But anyway, I was like, I don't got $1. And then this other guy comes in, and he's looking hella suspicious. Right? And I'm like, all right. I'm eyeing, keep my eye on him. 2 minutes later, a girl comes in. 2 minutes after that, the police pulls in.
Oh, shit.
So I'm like, okay. The cop comes in, and he's like, yo, you okay? You all right? You all right, bro? You all right, bro? And I'm like, oh, shit. Like, you know what I mean? Is somebody going to get choked out? Like, but the cop was black, all right? And he had a white cop with him. But the black cop was confronting the dude, and the dude is black. So I'm like, okay, maybe
the white man, like, these young people.
You know what I mean? This is young people. You deal with it. So I was like, all right, let me take 2 steps to the right. I'm trying to be in no situation. And he's like, yo, you all right, bro? You all right, bro? He's like, yo, he must have been high out of his mind or some shit. He's like, yo, I'm just trying to order food. Y'all, like, why y'all pressing me right now? Blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, watching his body language. Because the cop is like, yo, you came, you walked behind the dumpster, you was fiddling around with something by your waist, and then you came inside of the store. And I'm like, yo, this motherfucker better not have no gun up in this place. Because, like, I already put my order in. You know what I'm saying? I'm hungry. So I'm just standing there, and he's like, What you mean playing on my way? What you mean? I just came in here to just get some food. Like, y'all wilding right now. Blah, blah, blah. And I got to give him credit. He was kind of mellow. He didn't turn up, right? He didn't turn up.
Okay.
And the cop was like, yo, just let me know. If you got something on you, you got to let me know. Well, and the cop, he's doing his job. He's checking his body language out, trying to, check his area if he's holding a weapon.
Okay.
And the guy's like, nah, we straight. Then you had the woman that came inside of the store. Remember, I told you, a guy came in 2 minutes later, a woman came in, and 2 minutes later, the cops came in. The woman that came in had nothing to do with the situation. Absolutely nothing to do with the situation. But what did she do? She started cursing out the police.
Oh, my God.
Oh, y'all motherfuckers. Why y'all bothering us? Yo, you ain't shit. You a piece of shit. Ah. And I'm standing there and I'm like, yo, why?
You don't even know what the hell's going on.
I'm like, why are you turning up on these people? Like, you know what I mean? Like, first of all, he ain't got nothing to do with you. Man is mad calm. He's not making a big deal. But you have nothing to do with the situation. And you trying to instigate the police to react. Literally. It's me and like two other guys are standing there. And we're like, we all just minding our business. Right? And it's like, in my head, I'm like, why are you instigating a problem right now? Like, this guy could end up, the cop could just be like, fuck it, I'm just going to arrest this guy. Or I'm going to pat him down. Oh, and I'm going to find some shit.
Right.
Right? Just calm the fuck down. The cops looked like he was going to walk away and leave him alone. But you out here cursing the cops out. The cops leave. She opened the door and start cursing at them while they're walking back to the car.
For what though? It's like, all right, why? And again, I blame these fucking Dems. Granted, like you said, police brutality happens, but we kind of want to make it out that all cops are like this. So it's like you see a cop and you just instantly hate them. Which it shouldn't be the case. I don't know about any one of y'all. Oh, this is my camera. I don't know about any one of y'all. Sun goes down, I'm calling the cops. You know what I'm saying? I'm calling the cops. So it's like, as a black community, we just, again, this goes to accountability. We don't even want to tell if our brother or sister is wrong. You just want to stay by our side. I guess that's a good thing that we ride or die with our brothers and sisters when we want to, pick and choose to. Mm-hmm. But not all cops are bad. That's the main point I'm trying to get at. Not all cops are bad.
And there's a time and place to ride for each other. Like, if you analyze a situation and you can tell, all right, it's de-escalating, let me not jump in, there's no injustice happening, don't just run up and create things to instigate problems.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Like, don't add fuel to the fire. Right? So it's like, you could have just kept your mouth shut, right? Analyze the situation. If the guy's calm and he's saying he don't got nothing, and the cops is really like amping up on him, okay, then you have the right, like, to say something. But everything could have been done in like 3 minutes. But she really tried to really push the envelope to get a reaction out of them. And I think that's sometimes why we see the police and we hate them, because maybe the videos that we see online, somebody yelling, somebody screaming, somebody doing this or acting out, and it's just like, man, a lot of this stuff could have been avoided if a lot of people didn't get hype and really add more instigation to the situation than it needed to be. Mm-hmm. That guy could have got arrested. He could have got arrested for some stupid shit.
For some stupid shit.
And then he would fall right back into the system, and the cycle continues.
Yeah, man. Yeah, like, we got to remove this negative stigma surrounding police.
Look, there's good cops and there's bad cops. But I tell you, if my house is on fire, I'm calling 911. I'm telling you, if somebody robbed me or I get hurt or something, I'm calling 911.
I'm calling 911. I'm a civilian.
I pay taxes into this shit. I'm going to use it.
You saw in New York, though, like how there's a number of police leaving the workforce. Mayor Adams, he's trying to,
that clown.
Fucking clown, bro. I didn't vote for him,
Again,
by the way.
I didn't
I
vote
made
for
it
him
a
either.
point not to vote for him, but that's a story for another day.
Oh
But
man, yeah, he's really stressing me out. We'll save that for another
yeah,
episode because I got a
that's I
lot of
think that's
shit.
a whole two
Eric
hours,
Adams, if you're watching this video, you fucked up.
big time.
You really fucked up.
Shout out to Curtis Sliwa. That's who I voted for to be mayor in New York. Eric Adams. Again, just want to raise property taxes.
He's a cop. I think he was a
He
cop.
was a former cop. He
Yeah.
was.
Yeah.
Now he was looking out for his own.
So y'all black people that don't like the cops, y'all voted for a cop, bro. Like, what's up with that?
Honestly,
What's up with that, yo?
And I'm telling you, bro. I bet a lot of black people didn't even know he was a cop. They're like, oh, he's black. Vote for him.
Yeah, same shit I heard. Oh, he's black. Vote for him.
Yeah, but he's not it. But anyway, not all cops are bad. Please, let's remove the negative stigma from cops, and let's just work together as a community. They're leaving in record numbers right now. So which means less protection for our communities, which could increase crime, and I guess could equal more deaths.
Mm-hmm.
So show love to the cops, y'all. Like, whenever I'm in contact with a cop and they help me, I'm like, hey, thank you for your service. Thank you. Stop it. Let's stop all this defunding the police bullshit.
Yeah. We look. Shout out to all the essential workers, all the policemen, all the firemen, all the EMTs and doctors and nurses too that help us when we are sick, help us when we're hurt, sick, whatever. Because we need them. We pay for it.
Pay for it.
We pay for it. So you can't say fuck the police when shit happened and shit hit the fan. Yo ass in the police. Like, come on, we're paying for the shit. Just get the reform done to treat us as black people better.
Correct.
There
we go. That's all it is. Listen, black community. We just want to hold y'all accountable. Hold us accountable, so we can finally progress. It's tiring.
It is.
It's real tiring. And I guess I want to go into the dating aspect. Fuck, bro. I wish I could remember word for word. I listened to this video 5 o'clock this morning. Yeah, I'm a night owl. I don't know. I was just up. I woke up
5 o'clock, bro. I'm in REM. I'm in deep sleep.
Yeah, like, I don't know. I woke up at 2 o'clock, 1 or 2 o'clock, and I just couldn't get back to sleep. I would listen to this black man and black woman, arguing back and forth, or how she was saying how black men ain't shit, and why black women are dating outside of the culture to be treated better. Her main argument really was how us black men don't hold each other accountable, which is why there's so many bad black men. And my thing is, so there's not bad men in every culture and every race? So because you dated a few slime balls, niggas from the hood, mind you, because you dated Lenny down the block, robbing and shooting, selling drugs and shit, you want to label that to all of black men? That doesn't make sense to me. Again, you could go date outside your culture, which is fine with me. Like, you can do that. But don't date outside your culture and try to diss your race and be like, black men ain't shit. Yeah. When there's plenty of good black men out there that you probably just ignored or didn't even give a chance to because you want to be with the future instead of the Russell Wilson.
That's a good way to put it.
Yeah.
No. I agree on that point. Like, oh man, I don't even know how to start. It's crazy because it's like, when women say stuff like that, oh, I don't date black men because of X, Y, and Z. It's like you really put in a good black dude in a category that he doesn't even fit in. Like, he can have all his shit together, and he wants a good woman, but you think, oh, he's a square, he's this, A lot of stuff that I see on social media, which again, that's a whole nother world, and it's far from reality most times. But it's like, these girls want these hood niggas, these robbers, scammers, dealers, this, that, and the third. And again, I feel like the music plays a role in that because
Music
we
definitely plays a role in
glamorize,
it.
it glamorizes those type of people as something that you want, something that you want to have. And, you know, you can sit here, you can ask a girl, she could say that, but then let's check your history. Well, yeah, you did have another drug dealer. You had another dude that was doing nothing with his life. You know what I mean? Like you're showing instances where you're being with people who aren't shit.
Right.
And then now you circle back and say, oh yeah, black men ain't shit.
Yeah. Yep.
There's a lot of good black guys out there. Vice versa for the men. There's a lot of good black women out there.
Yeah.
But I think it's we gotta have a little bit more confidence within ourselves.
Yeah, we have a lot more confidence. And look, I always say your personal experience molds your views on certain things. So if you're a black man or woman, you just dealt with a lot of shitty black people, in a dating scene. Don't let that contaminate your views on black people.
Right.
You know what I mean? Again, there are shitty people everywhere, bro.
Shitty Hispanics, shitty Asians, shitty everybody. There's no race that's perfect.
Man, when we went to Colombia, I overheard a conversation. I guess I was being nosy. Of some woman, we was in a club of some woman telling, her girlfriends, like, oh, Colombian man ain't shit. My baby daddy, is not around and stuff. So, like, there's women like this in every culture, if I'm being honest with you.
No.
You know what I'm saying? So, she's complaining how Colombian men ain't shit. We got, sisters in our culture saying how black men ain't shit because of the men that you chose to dealt with.
Well, look, ladies, black women specifically, men ain't shit in a lot of different cultures and races. All right? It ain't just the black guy. All right? So just find the right guy. Be patient. Learn how to attract the right guy, right? And don't think don't generalize all men to be like that or all black men to be like that because there's some really good ones out there.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, some great black men out there. Yeah. I'm one of them. I ain't gonna hold you.
Me too.
A lot of great black men out there, so don't give up. But again, you're free to date outside your race. Free to date whoever the hell you want.
Free to date whoever the hell you want. Love is love, man.
Well, just don't try to tear your house down as you exited.
Exactly. It's all a learning process. Another thing I wanted to get into, since we on the black conscious tip, before we deviate from that, I gotta mention this one thing. Is there's a lot of things where people will say, oh, look at this country, they got, their people is doing this and their people is doing that, like focusing on other countries except for focusing on themselves. And I put that in the retrospect perspective of black people, where we focus on other people rather than focusing on ourselves. And I guess it kind of intertwines with the victim mentality, but look, the stuff that's going on in the Middle East with Palestine and Israel.
Yeah.
I just want to say, it's not right. I want peace out there. I want the bombings and the killings to stop.
Yeah, it's sad. It's really sad.
It's really sad and it's really messed up. I want all of that to stop, and I want an agreement to come between the two nations. Now, I'm not Palestinian and I'm not Jewish. I do not know the full aspect of the confrontation because, again, I'm not saying because it's not my problem, I don't need to know what happens. But if we can mitigate, civilians dying and babies dying and families being separated and communities being destroyed, look, I support, having a peace.
Mm-hmm.
Having a truce, having an agreement between the two. However, as a black man, I have my own problems within my community.
Correct. I knew where you was going with this.
And that does not mean I must throw 100% of my resources to that community. And again, we mentioned this before where the many other communities supported us during the Black Lives Matter.
Yeah, yeah.
Thank you. I appreciate that. And look, you guys have the support of the black community for Palestine, right? You guys have the support. But at the same time, black people, we need to not lose focus on what we want as well. We're in America and we're marginalized, and we need to do better as a community.
Mm-hmm.
My thing is focusing on the community, less more on what being
what
a
other
victim
people are going through.
or what other people are going through. Focus on us, because when that's all said and done, all we got is ourselves and what we have.
Right.
Right. And time is, the quicker we can get, reform and justice and X, Y, and Z, the better that we can help. We can't help if we don't have no economy. We don't have nothing. We don't have a community.
Correct.
You see what I'm saying? And if you don't, sound off in the comments and let me know so I can explain to you verbatim. All right? So I feel like we should be aware of these things. We should be able to support where we can, but we cannot forget that we also have a problem that we need to fix ourselves. You can't help someone else if you can't help yourself.
Right. I agree. Definitely agree. And look, we're not trying to sound insensitive to what other people or cultures or communities are going through, but in Black America, we have a lot of things that we have to solve in house before we worry about what's going on outside.
There's a whole war going on in the Congo. You got a guy
Ain't hear shit about it, bro.
You got a guy setting himself on fire to bring awareness. We got all of our brothers and sisters in Haiti that's going through a whole, oh my goodness, like war on the soil. We have so much things that's going on, and this, other things bring national attention. And again, the Jewish community, I know they're funding support for their people.
Right.
The Palestinian community, I know they're funding support for their people. And I know there's black people that's doing it too. And we know, like, the support is good. And I'm not going to start getting into the intricacies of what side to support. Killings of anybody, every life is precious, no matter where
we
you're
don't
from,
condone that. Yeah.
where you're from, who you are, what you believe in. You have the right to believe in whatever you want. I'm just as human as the next guy. You do whatever you want. But I'm focusing on black people right now. We need to focus on ourselves as well. We can't forget that. Because when it's all said and done, look back.
Mm-hmm.
Be like, well, yeah, we don't have shit. Like, we still at square one.
I poured all of my energy over there. And, I have nothing at home. And then, also, well, I guess people, will help the black community because we said we're BLM. But, like, will there be some sort of reciprocity? Like, will people want to help us if we go to help them?
Who knows? We don't have a country. I mean, we have Africa, but like in terms of like being a U.S. like American, like this country is built off the back of slaves, but we got the shitty end of the stick.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
But I wanted to transition, and enough about the black conscious tip. I hope everybody.
Hope we learned that. We spent an hour on that shit.
Yeah, we spent a good amount of time. I mean, it's a good way to start off the show, making it known and making it clear. We're talking about how we can relate to certain things.
Facts.
And D and I, we both lived certain injustices by being black, right? But again, we're not victims. We know how to do better, how to be better, and where to improve. But next thing I want to talk about is this Ti and King situation.
Yeah, yeah. With that, again, it breaks my heart because it shows a child have no type of respect for his parents, especially his father. Again, I'm just saying this. I don't give a fuck. I expect a child like that to act like that if he's raised in a single parent home, mainly by his mom. But if you have two parents in your life, especially as a young man, you have your father in your life. Why is he choosing to lash out like that? And granted, y'all, he was calling his parents nigga.
Mm.
I stand on business.
Mm.
You know what I mean? Like, you're saying that in the presence of your parents who raised you. And so I'm like, as a father, did you not check him? Like, again, I don't know. I'm not inside their homes. They chose to make their relationships all public.
Mm-hmm.
But I would think if you're a strong father in the household, you will be able, I guess, have more of a grip on your son. Like, I feel like he should fear you in some type of way to where he's not gonna be like, Dad, I stand on business, bro. First of all, I'm not a father yet.
I'd catch a hot one
If my son ever say he stand, boom, that's it, nigga. All he said is I stand. That's it.
You stand on what?
I'm like, you know what I mean, like. Granted, T.I. did put his hands on him. That's what they're saying. I didn't really see it in the video. But I feel like T.I. didn't check him multiple times as he was growing up. Because probably thinking, oh, he'll grow out of it, blah, blah, blah. But he's out of hand. And I guess that just goes into that we have to do a better job of just parenting.
Parenting, that whole situation made me thinking, like, why are these kids like trying to like glamorize that struggle? Like,
The struggle ain't fun.
I got it from the mud. Like, yeah, I was in the hood and all I had for dinner was bread. Like, come on, bro. Like, your dad's a millionaire, a multi-millionaire. What type of struggle you going through, bro?
It's not fun. And then I also blame T.I. in a way because, look, when he was coming up, he was rapping about being from the struggle. He was glamorizing it. He was a part of the problem.
Yeah.
Now, him rapping, got him out the hood, made him millions of dollars, but he was a part of the problem. So as your son, if you're looking up to your father, you're listening to his past music, and he got popular off of that, he made millions off of that, he got plenty of women glamorizing that lifestyle, you're going to think it's cool to do also. Mm-hmm. So it starts at home. So that I think that's a part of the reason why he's like that. Now, T.I. probably did it unintentionally, but at the same time, he kind of molded this boy the way he is. And again, I'm not trying to not have some sort of accountability for him. He definitely needs to be accountable, but this music and his father being a part of that music definitely is a part of the reason why he is.
Look, back in 2000, what is it, like 2006 or whatever, whenever T.I. was hot, it was
popular. Yeah, like I said, like 06.
Yo, I grew up on T.I., bro. I used to live in the South I used to live in Atlanta for a couple of years, but like, yo, he was my favorite rapper back then, and I liked the music, I liked it, right? Mm-hmm. But you don't see me going up now saying I got it out of the mud and all this extra shit. And like, granted, this kid was born into wealth. Like, why are you trying to, one, disrespect your parents, and then two, talk about how you had some sort of struggle that you was going through? And
what struggle?
It's like, you faced no struggle, bro.
Bro.
I remember this kid on the fucking T.I. and Tiny show.
Yes.
Like, your mom and dad was living in a nice mansion, recording a reality TV show, making money off of that. You're not going to tell me you had a fucking struggle. Because I don't believe any bit of that at all.
I don't believe none of that. Bro, you didn't have struggles. You probably had a fucking hiccup or some shit. like, you know what a struggle is? Not knowing if you're eating that night. You know what struggle is? Not having your lights on. Not having an eviction notice on your fucking door. That's what struggle is. You didn't go through any of that. I'm not trying to downplay your trauma. You probably went through some stuff that, you know, that hurt you as a human being, whatever, but don't ever say you went through struggles and try to compare yourself to somebody that's from the hood. Because you grew up privileged. I bet $100,000. He went to private schools.
Yeah,
grew up in mansions.
Went to the
pool
best
in the
school.
backyard. I bet he had all of that shit. So don't ever come on here and try to compare yourself to somebody who actually is trying to get it.
Nah, and that makes me think about Ja Morant.
Yeah,
and his shenanigans, bro.
His
like
bullshit.
What? Like you a millionaire. You in the NBA. You know how many? You know how many people try to get into the NBA. You know how many kids, me in school, in high school, college, everybody's dream. I want to make it to the NBA. I want to make it to the NBA, and they don't make it. But you're behind, got in the NBA, got what? Maybe like $150 million contract for 5 years.
I'm about to look at him now.
Right? But then you out here toting guns and videos and this. And what was crazy?
$200 million contract. He signed a 5-year, $197 million, but round it up to $200 million contract.
What, 100 and what?
$197 million.
$197 million. Like you said, call that $200 million. And we didn't even get started on the sneaker deals and all the. Oh damn! We didn't even get started on the sneaker deals and any of that. You making that straight off playing ball?
That's just NBA.
That's NBA. And then you're gonna be running around, toting guns and videos. Not only one time, and make an apology for it. We're gonna do it a second time. You're gonna do it twice. For what? Because you think it's gangsta to do that? When you grew up in a nice neighborhood, you got all this money, and now you wanna act a fool and try to be tough to impress who? The only thing you can impress us right now with is being on the court and showing us what you can do for your community.
Exactly.
All that other shit, I don't give a fuck.
Bro, I don't know why people don't follow LeBron James. He is like the absolute model of black success in the NBA. How many scandals you heard LeBron in? Zero. You haven't heard or seen LeBron do anything in his 21, 22 year career in the NBA? Nothing. Not cheating on his wife, not acting out in the clubs, fights, nothing. He is like a straight model citizen for the NBA. And what he built, that I Promise school, trying to give back and then awarding people who graduate full scholarship tuition to, I think it's the University of Ohio or...
Yeah, I think it's in Ohio.
Yeah, I know it's a school in Ohio. If you graduate, he will then pay for your college education. That is a model example of how you should conduct yourself when you get the bag, when you're in a position of power, or when you get in a position that nobody else will make. You're 1 in 100, 1 in 1 millionth person to be awarded such a great opportunity and not squander it.
Look, it's hard to get in the NBA.
It's hard.
Hella hard to get in the NBA. I remember when I was younger, I wanted to be in the NBA. You know what I mean? Not to sound cliche, but damn near every black kid wants to be in sports, be a football player, be a basketball player. I wanted to be in the NFL. You know what I mean?
At one point, you couldn't tell me I wasn't going to be there.
At one point, I felt like I was in X-Ray Allen. You know what I'm saying? I was Steph Curry before Steph Curry became Steph Curry. You know what I'm saying? But, it's hard to get into the NBA, into the league, any league, baseball, football, whatever, basketball. And you get there, you have this opportunity. There was an interview on... Brandon Marshall. He has that I Am Athlete.
Yeah,
right?
He got the I Am Athlete.
Shout out to his show. It's a good show. They bring on some good athletes on there. J.R. Smith.
He was on there?
He was on there.
Oh shit. Okay.
And he started talking about, he's like, I'm very disappointed that a lot of these black athletes can't set up something for black people. He's like, I think he said he was sitting with Russell Westbrook and a couple other stars and saying, yo, you make 100 and something million, you make 100 and something million, you make 100 and something million. Why we all can't just take 10 million of that and create a school?
Right.
Why we can't take 10 million of that and create a business or something for our people? And he's like, yo, he admitted. He's like, yo, I went to the club and I throw
I think I did see that clip.
$30,000 and he spent $5,000 on some jeans and all this extra stuff. And he's
I do remember that.
He admit that he wasted and squandered his money for certain shit.
Right.
But he's bringing keeping it real and saying, yo, I fucked up. I shouldn't have done that. And now he's at a point where helping his community is what gives him real satisfaction and make him happy.
Right.
And I'm like, that's absolutely true. Like, why can't these multi-million-dollar athletes give money back to their communities?
Everybody else do it
in a positive way.
All the other
because
cultures.
Because you can't tell me. Now I've heard athletes. I've heard athletes say, "Oh yeah, I got mouths to feed." I'm like, bruh, you a multi-million-dollar athlete. And you gonna complain about you have mouths to feed? What, you giving them gourmet steaks and all of this stuff? Like, that's mouths to feed?
And that doesn't even hurt your pockets at all.
If think about it, if every $1 million athlete or big athlete was just to give $10 million to an organization that is focused on black people, I think we would make a lot of stride, especially if we make so much money in the industry.
Yeah. Again, I don't know, man. Like, they just have to follow somebody's lead. Because again, LeBron do it. He has a school. I can't say nothing. He has a whole fucking school trying to help people.
Yo, Dr. Umar trying to make a school too. I mean, I think he got the school built and all that.
Yeah, already. Umar, we need some answers on that. He got the school, FDMG Academy. I think he's like, waiting to do the finishing touches of it, like electrical and shit like that. I did hear him say that he was waiting on black people to try and help him because he wanted it to be done for free. So I guess, you don't got the money to do, the money to get all of that stuff built. And I guess he was expecting some black people to come up forth and do it for free because, this is something for us to help our kids. But he had to reach out to the white man who would get it done. So I did hear him say that.
I think last time I watched his video, I think he was trying to do a fully 100% black funded school.
Right.
And there were, I think, either it was plumbers or something like that scammed him out of some money, but they were black owned.
Yeah.
Unfortunately. Then he had to go to like some other white contractors to do that part of it. But nonetheless, no credit taken away from him because
he got the school. The school is there.
The school is there. Soon. I don't know. This might be minor little things he's waiting on to open up and have some kids in there.
Thank you.
But I feel like
thank you.
He's setting the real bar for black people to say, look, if I can build a school and I'm not a multi-million-dollar guy,
for real,
you guys can do it the way I did it.
And I don't want to say too, obviously there's gonna be struggles and challenges because he's not at the level of a fucking LeBron or Kyrie or like whoever multi-millionaire. So it's going to take a little longer for him to, a little longer for him to get that school up and running. But he got the school. He just needs some help. So if there's any way I can help, I would. But I'm not a handyman. You know what I'm saying? So I could come teach at the school. Yo, Umar, hit me up, man. I could come teach at the school. But yeah, shouts out to Dr. Umar. He's one of the faces of, Black America right now, trying to put us in a better position. And again, as I was saying earlier before, it starts with education. So he's trying to provide a space for black boys and black girls to get educated and take over this fucking world. He's trying to do something for us. So again, shout out to Dr. Umar. You know, when Rich come back, I'm gonna talk about. Yeah, damn. We try to shy away from black consciousness and came right back in it. Yo, we on a commercial break. Look at that.
I'm back.
Yeah, we went right into the black conscious shit.
Yeah, nah.
All right.
Yeah, I had to take a little potty break.
So, all right, next topic. We was talking about to get out of the black talk.
Yeah, damn, we went right back into that shit.
Let's go into masculinity. Let's talk about being a man in today's world, being a leader, leading your family. You know, difference between alpha and beta. You know, shit like that. Let's just go, and then we could also just talk about just women in general.
Oh nah, I'm thinking that might have to be a whole nother.
That's a whole nother
segment because like that's
hour 30 in.
I mean, yeah, how far are we? Like,
yeah,
almost
30.
an hour and 30. Listen, guys, if you like the pod, you know, again, put the thumbs up in it. You know, put a thumbs up on the video. You know what I'm saying? Up. Put a thumbs up on the video.
Like, comment, and subscribe.
Look, the time went by so fast. I didn't even.
Yeah, no, time went by fast.
You know, I didn't even know it was at an hour, damn near hour and 30 right now. But nah, masculinity and being an alpha.
Yeah.
And masculinity, like, what is the difference? And to me, I think a masculine man is a guy that has a backbone, you know, that stands for something, right? Every man is different. Every man has what they will take and what they will, you know, they wouldn't tolerate.
Right.
But a masculine man can work and coincide with a feminine woman.
Correct.
Right? And not power trip, because a lot of this feminist movement, which we'll definitely expand more.
Yeah, that's not for another episode.
In episode 2, but you know, an alpha guy, he's the one that has to be the loudest in the room.
Yeah,
he's got to be. He
needs
face
attention.
Of everything. He needs the attention to like be that guy, you know, and that type of shit. Like, come on. What are we in fucking?
Yeah, why are we so obsessive with this alpha title, bro? Just be a man, be yourself.
Be yourself. Stand on something. Have a backbone. Stand on business.
Everybody, stop trying to be like Andrew Tate or be like these other motherfuckers. Like, bro, Andrew Tate is Andrew Tate. Be your fucking self, but also just be a man.
Y'all need to know Andrew Tate is just doing this shit for publicity and views. Like,
cause when them cameras off and he got a woman, he probably a bit softer. Which is fine.
Which is fine. Nobody's saying it's wrong.
Supposed to be soft with your woman. Like, you know, if I'm with my woman, with my wife, I'm gonna be softer to her towards around other niggas. You know what I'm saying? Like,
yeah,
be that person.
But no, there's a clear difference, and being an alpha is like being a dickhead. It's like, you know, it's like, look, you got to be a man, and you got to be masculine. You can't be soft. You can't be like, yeah, what? Nah, you got to have a backbone. As I said 3 other times, you have to have a backbone. You have to have something you want to stand for.
Learn to make decisions.
Learn to be a decision maker, and learn that if you fail, you better know. You better not fail at doing the same shit again.
Right.
Learn from your mistakes. We all have one life that we're living. This is all new to everybody.
And I want to, just provide. I just want to say this real quick. Like, I feel like when it comes to just being the ultimate man or being your true masculine self, it takes a lot of experience. It takes a lot of ups and downs and just a lot of failures for you to learn from to be the ultimate man that you want to be. Like, when you're in your 20s, not saying you're not a man, but you're learning so much and trying to do so much that I don't think you're prepared to really lead a family yet. unless you go through, some other circumstances. Like in your 20s, you're trying to, build a career, trying to learn more about yourself. You're failing and learning so much that can build you when you get in your 30s and 40s that you're like, now that you can properly lead a family or properly just be a better man. So any man that's listening to this, I feel like you're behind and maybe you're scared to make a decision, don't want to fail. It's okay to feel like that as long as you're still trying to progress and proceed to be a better version of yourself. You have to go through experience to be anything. You can't just wake up and just say, I'm a man, I'm gonna be a leader. Leaders fail over and over again, which is why they learn and get up and be able to lead other people. Just think about your job, your manager. Your manager been in the shoes that you're in. He's learned from that position and now he's able to lead.
Right.
When you're a young man, you're going through so much that eventually when you get older, now you're going to be in a position to lead other young men or your family and your wife. So it's okay to feel like you're behind, but just remember to keep getting up.
Absolutely agree. You can't, they have the natural born leaders. Everybody's not a natural born leader.
Not everybody's that.
Everybody's not a Michael Jordan. Everybody's not a LeBron James or Steph Curry, right? We got to exclude those type of people, right? And, being a leader, it takes experience, it takes learning and reflection.
Yeah.
You got to reflect back on yourself and say, look, this is what I got to do better. I fucked up here, and improve on it, and make decisions. When you get a family, you got to make decisions what's best for your family.
What's best for your family.
And that's a part of being a masculine man, making sacrifices, working those extra hours, getting that OT. It may not just
Stop complaining so much.
Stop complaining. It may not just be getting an OT just to pay the bills, but if the bills are being met and you have opportunities for some OT, get that OT, right? Because you never know. There might be a rainy day where shit get a little tough and you have a little extra money in the bank. That's what a masculine man does.
Yeah, and I want to say, I don't think, we're not trying to say that a man should just know anything and make every single decision in a household, because that's the point of being in a relationship. There's some things that I don't know and I'm not good at that my wife can, pick up on. But there's some things that I'm good at that I can help lead her to. Like submission. Like, I have to submit to my wife to some things, and she has to submit to me to some things. Because I'm not perfect. Nobody's perfect. I don't know everything. But at the same time, I feel like as a man, you have to remove your emotions from the equation and think logically and think what's best for you and your family. And then when it comes to a point of like you and your wife don't know the best decision to make, maybe as a man you should step up and say, hey, this is what I think we should do. And if you make the wrong decision, then you may just make the wrong decision. You just learn from it.
Right. And a relationship takes two. So masculinity isn't trying to be the forefront of everything like an alpha man, right? You are to take in consideration of your partner. If your girlfriend or your wife has her input, you take that in consideration and you make a decision that both of you can agree on together. Being masculine is not being number one, being first and all of that and whatever I say goes. It's taking in account for what everyone else has to say. In this case, your partner or your wife, your girlfriend, what have you, and making a decision based off of that. And whatever the decision is that you make, stand on it. If it's wrong, if you fail at it, damn, I gotta be better at the next time. I need to make a big decision again.
Right.
And that's what makes a couple. That's what makes a relationship. There's girls out there that's with deadbeat guys, right? But the woman can see, maybe he got some potential. I'm gonna stay with him. I'm gonna stick with him. I'm gonna support him. I'm gonna advise him. And they come out to be some of the most successful people.
Right.
You know, they get it out of the mud, and before you know it, they got a house, they got kids, everything is better because they work as a team. A relationship
Work
is a
as a
team,
team. That's
right?
something that we just got away from in today's world. That no woman wants to go through the struggle with a man. Not saying that you deserve to be with a deadbeat man, but like shit, there's some good men out there who it just may take time for them to reach their
Yeah,
peak.
everybody has their own, like everybody's moving at a different rate.
Right.
Nobody's moving the same. There's people who, you know, gather their shit together earlier than others, and that's fine. And some people it
Correct.
takes a little bit longer, you know. But if you got a man that's focused on something, you know, stick with him, try it, get it through the
Just
mud,
be with a man that has
struggle.
ambition and has that hustle mentality.
Yeah, don't be with no deadbeat broke motherfucker.
Exactly.
That all he want to do is buy that Gucci belt just to wear around it, just to wear and walk around the block with. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
Like, don't settle for some type of guy like that. And we're not talking about those guys. Look, there's deadbeat guys out there and no good women out there too.
Right.
Like
Right.
not
No
for good
good.
women out there too. But you know, guys, just give each other a chance. You know, it's okay.
It's okay.
It's okay. But damn, we've been going on for a while now.
Yeah. Hour 36.
Hour 36. First episode, guys. This is our first fucking episode, man.
First episode. Feel good. I think it went really well, man. Or it's going really well.
Yeah, I mean,
Oh, man.
damn, some of the videos just stopped. That was actually good. We got 2 cameras still rolling, but thanks for tuning in to the first episode of Straight Up and R&D.
Thanks, y'all. Straight Up R&D podcast. We got a lot more content on the way.
A lot more content.
We're gonna have some guests on in the future. You know, times it's going to be Rich and I just talking the shit with y'all. But yeah, we have a lot more ideas that we can't wait to put out there for y'all.
Most definitely. We're going to be hitting you guys with some nice controversial topics, current events, everything. You know what I mean? And definitely like and subscribe, comment. We want to hear what you got to say, but we don't give a shit about your feelings. But watch the second episode. Right? We're always going to give it to you real raw and unfiltered of what we got to say. You know, and I hope you guys enjoyed this podcast. Thanks for tuning in, and we'll see you guys in the next one. We're going to be pulling out videos weekly. Again, we're going to be pulling out videos weekly. So stay tuned. I hope you guys enjoyed this, and yeah, let us know what you think.
Yeah. Like, comment, and subscribe. And put some topics, or let us know how we did, or put some topics in the comments of what you think we should talk about next.
Yeah, definitely. All right, so this is Rich signing out, and yeah, see you guys in the next one.
Later, y'all.